First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler pulling this up, a live shot of downtown Portland there. You got Mount Hood in the background. This is our Shriners camera, and looks nice and clear right now, but that is probably going to be changing before too long, and it's already pretty cold out there. We're going to be talking about that today. Again, this is Fox 12 Now. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to download those Fox 12 Oregon apps. That's a great way to follow along with what we do here and keep up with everything else going on here at the station. But in particular right now with this impending, well, cold weather again already here, but impending potential snow, ice that's going to be coming along. You can check out all of that at kptv.com. We'll be talking about that plenty throughout the afternoon, but we do expect something to be happening there, and regardless, it's very cold. And so we want to find out, how do you best take care of your pets? What are some tips and tricks and things that you should really know about if you are a pet owner? And a lot of us are. There's certainly things that we should be aware of. And to help us with that, we've got Laura Klink from the Oregon Humane Society. And Laura, always great to talk to you and have you on here and your expertise. And, you know, to start off, I'm curious, you know, for the Humane Society, what do you all do, you know, to prepare for something like this?
Yeah, the animals here at the Oregon Humane Society, both at our Portland campus and at our Salem campus, you know, they need care every day of the year. So it's not, you know, there's no snow days when you are caring for shelter animals. So we're very fortunate here at Oregon Humane Society. We have a designated group of staff and volunteers that are part of our inclement weather crew. These are folks that live a little closer to the shelter, have vehicles that can get through really terrible weather, and are also trained in animal handling. A couple of years ago, during one of the really bad snowstorms, we had our lead veterinarian walk to the shelter from our house when an animal needed some care. So our dedicated staff and volunteers really make that work possible. And again, it you know, there is no snow days when you are caring for shelter pets.
Yeah, not at all, and that's why it's so important, you know, all the work that you do there. And just for people, everybody to know too, is there going to be a change in public hours or anything like that during something like this?
So we're watching the weather very closely. We will post any changes on our social channels at Oregon Humane or on our website, OregonHumane.org. So, you know, depending on what happens in the next couple hours and how the forecast change, we may open late tomorrow or we may close completely either our Portland or Salem campuses.
Yeah. So as all of us are doing, just kind of monitoring to see what's going to happen here, and you know, we'll know more as the closer we get. Well, talking about that though, you know, regardless of whatever it is that does come through, it is really cold weather. We are anticipating, you know, some ice, and it's good to know that and prepare for that when it comes to having your pets. And so I wanted to start off, you know, if you could maybe give us a few guidelines to help out everybody out there about some things they should be aware of that maybe they're not thinking of right now to prepare for this weather with their pets.
Absolutely. The really simple and basic rule of thumb is to keep your pets inside as much as possible. When it's really cold and the wind chill is making it even colder, it can really be dangerous for an animal to get hypothermia, frostbite. So again, as much as you can, you know, have your animal indoors. We've got some great ideas on our website. If you have a young, active dog, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, my dog needs a lot of exercise. So there are some things that you can do to keep their brain active by playing some indoor games. Certainly during this weather, you know, making sure, we all have heard about antifreeze being deadly to animals. So just making sure that you're wiping your animal's paws after you take them out for a walk. If your dog especially is okay with wearing booties, especially as the ground is frozen, that might be helpful. Or maybe putting a little petroleum jelly to protect their pads. You know, one thing that's really important to keep in mind, especially if you have a large active dog, is that walking your dog can be dangerous for us. You don't want an afternoon of walking your dog to turn into, you know, a broken arm or something for you. So, you know, it's really important as we take care of our pets to also take care of ourselves if we are going to be outside with them.
That's a very good point. I've got a 105-pound dog myself, is very strong, and could easily pull me over if the roads are icy or anything like that too, and also not good for him as well. So, yeah, great advice right there. What else do you think is really important for people to pay attention to when it comes to, you know, this particular weather and maybe some of the behaviors, things that they should be aware of when it comes to their pets?
I mean, the good news is it looks like this won't be an extended deep freeze. So,
Yeah.
we're really talking about getting through the next couple of days. And you really know your pet the best. Some animals can, like the cold or maybe want to be outside a little bit longer. If you have a husky or a Malamute or a Pyrenees, they may be like, I'm good. I'm going to just kind of play out here in the snow for a while. If you've got an older dog, maybe one with some health issues, maybe one with a shorter coat, you really want to limit that time that they are outdoors. So again, it's just really a matter of adjusting your expectations and your activities with your pet to really align with the weather and align with what's going to be safest. Last year, I know we had power outages all over our city during some of these winter storms. So one of the lessons that in my home we took away from that experience was to make sure that we've got extra food, extra water, an extra coat, because it could, if the power goes out, it can get really cold inside your house. So how do you keep your animals safe and comfortable, making sure you have enough medication if your animal is on any kind of medication is also really important to keep in mind, especially if you're going to be in a position where you may not be able to get out of your house for a couple of days.
All good things for your pets and for yourself too, to make sure that you're stocked up for everybody out there. One other question too, some people have, particularly outside pets, maybe they can't bring them inside, or there's also people that care for, I'll rephrase that. A lot of people do have pets they can bring inside, but some people don't. Maybe they're just strictly outside animals, or maybe they care for even feral cats in the neighborhood. There's always that random cat that somebody is putting food out for. What are some tips for them as far as taking care of those?
So most important is to make sure that you're checking water bowls to make sure that the water is not frozen, using plastic bowls instead of metal bowls, which their tongues can stick to. And most importantly is making sure that there is a dry, insulated space for that animal to be comfortable and to be safe, especially with feral cats, right? There are a lot of folks that care for feral cats and community cats, and maybe bringing them inside is not an option. So making sure that there is a raised, a house of some sort that's insulated, that can keep that animal dry and warm. Feral Cat Coalition of Oregon has some great information on their website. It's very easy to make an insulated tub or an insulated house out of a storage tub, so you can make sure that those animals are staying safe.
There you go. So take a look at that site and follow that advice just to make sure everybody's staying safe. Anything else that you think is important for people to know?
Just to check OregonHumaneSociety.org for any of our closures and updates. Like I mentioned, we have an amazing crew of staff and volunteers that come to take care of the animals during bad weather events. And some of our cutest moments, honestly, have been seeing the shelter dogs playing in the snow. So, we are, just again, very fortunate to have staff and volunteers. A lot of the animals that are here maybe have never even seen snow. A couple weeks ago, we received about 100 animals, including 40 dogs from Los Angeles in the aftermath of the wildfires down there. So we were joking earlier that some of those animals have probably never seen snow before. So this could be a big couple of days for them.
Oh yeah, definitely exciting, and that is one of the fun things when it's okay to let the dog run around in the snow a little bit. That's fun. Well, Laura, thank you. Excuse me. Thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it, and your expertise and everything that you do out there for the Humane Society.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and for everybody watching, again, we are live here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We've got plenty of coverage coming up here this afternoon. We're going to be talking more about weather. We've got meteorologist Peyton Majors, who's going to be joining us in about an hour or so. So that'll be a next big update that we'll have as far as what we expect with the weather. So make sure wherever you're watching me, you can come right back for that. But we've got more between now and then. So thanks for joining us. I will talk to you here in just a few. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.